Thagomizers? Well, we're going to be talking about that in today's discussion, basically involving one of my personal favorite, well, Jurassic dinosaurs, the Stegosaurus. So, basically, I'm going to probably keep things maybe a little briefer today than normal, mainly because I'm really tired. I just finished editing part 1 of, well, Shimo project there, so if you haven't seen that yet, be sure to check that out after the stream, because a lot of work goes into making that content, and I am really tired, so I would like to try and get at least a little bit of sleep today. So, as I make these Thagomizers, I will be talking about Stegosaurus, you could say. Now, obviously camera angles have changed once again, things are further back, hopefully I don't have to play around with it too much. You might not be able to see what I'm doing necessarily quite as much, but at least this way my lighting isn't gonna get in the way. Because, yeah, there was a couple times where it's like completely blocking your point of vision, which kind of defeats the purpose, unfortunately. Godzilla 950, hello and thanks for joining in. Hopefully you're doing well. Admit I'm really tired, so if I'm a little slower or mispronounce my words during the stream today, it's due to a lack of sleep because of part 1 of Shimo. So I'm going to be making a pair of Thagomizers, basically. So the tail spikes on the end of Shimo, or otherwise, whatchamacallit, probably known on a Stegosaurus, I suppose. Maybe not popular is probably the best way to put it, because Thagomizer is probably more of a paleo nerd term, maybe common in that community, but that's about it. So, out of curiosity, do you know what a Thagomizer is? There's been a lot of talk about Thagomizers, obviously, the last little bit with all these monsters, so I'll make sure I'm not in 8K because my video editing software is... Oh, okay, you know what Thagomizers are. Cool. Do you know where they came from? That's a good question. It's kind of old. And kind of interesting where that term actually came from. Quick paleo quiz. I always kind of enjoy actually taking a lot of those social media platforms. I'm really good at the identifying dinosaurs, I've noticed. Even if I don't know it, to just use the process of elimination, I find is usually the best way. So if you don't know the answer, just go what you know is definitely not it first. Well, I know it's from... Okay, so you know it's from the Stegosaurus, but you don't know the origin of the word. It's kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure the exact date, unfortunately. So it was in a comic strip in a newspaper. It was supposed to be a joke. So it was a bunch of cavemen basically hanging around cave painting, discussing unfortunate recent death in their community. So I can't remember the character's name. Either way, the main antagonist of the comic strip basically instated that he was killed by a Thagomizer, being the spike on the end of a Stegosaurus, which was not a technical term at all. It was just a complete made-up word by the comic artist. I can't remember the guy's name. I should probably look that up and play the background music, which is available in the post description below. Any rate, so yeah, it was basically in a comic book strip way back in the day and was meant as a joke, and a bunch of paleontologists actually really enjoyed it. So they thought it was a cool term, and they adapted it into, well, scientific textbooks. So Thagomizer basically was a joke and then became an actual scientific term. So interesting. Kind of a good example of how the art community has integrated with the paleo community, or paleontologists. Happens a lot. It's actually really interesting. There's a lot of good, interesting documentaries out there. Yeah, it definitely is very interesting. What is your favorite Jurassic dinosaur, Mr. Godzilla 950? I would have to say I think Allosaurus is probably mine. And there's a lot of interesting stories about Allosauruses and Allosaur days. And Stegosauruses having fights. It gets pretty nasty. It's really cool and interesting, actually. So... yeah, what's your favorite Jurassic dinosaur? I'm gonna have to make some lighting adjustments here. I'm gonna add a couple teeth on Shimo first of all. I was going through a bunch of reference photos and I noticed she has, like, on some collections, larger, like, incisors. Hi, sweetie. Holly's joining us, so, hey. Yeah, are you happy to be on live? Apparently. Girl. Yeah. Is this better? Yeah. That tripod's no longer in the way. It's off in the corner over there. Yeah. You're not gonna let me get anything, are you? No. Not that smile. Okay. Must stay focused, Holly girl. I know. Yeah, you can wait. You were just out. Oops. Can't say that word. That and the W word is also forbidden. But man, either one of those, I'm in big trouble. Oof. That's a name. I'm gonna have to probably look that up here real quick. To Google. I'm gonna have to adjust my laptop or just move my light out of the way. Could take off my hat too. That's always I can't spell well. You're not. Don't worry about that at all. You're not gonna get judged. I can't spell either. It really sucks. I have dyslexia, so as long as you're within the ballpark, my phone's fairly well trained in Dinosaur. Oh man, that was probably the most awkward transition from switching all my devices to like Androids. This thing didn't have any idea what I was trying to look up half the time. The iPhone still knows the dinosaur terminology quite well. Keeper Gaming, hello, hope you're doing well, and thanks for tuning in to Moose Motion Live, making some Thagomizers. We're just looking up a dinosaur from the Jurassic era. So what's your favorite Jurassic dinosaur? Gonna be talking a lot about Stegosaurus. It's a sauropod. Okay, that's cool. I love sauropods. Sauropods are probably really underrated dinosaurs personally because, well, it's no surprise that a lot of the theropods are as popular as they are. I get it, but I think something that weighs several hundred tons or, tens of thousands of pounds is gonna probably win more often than not against any sort of carnivore at that point. But let's try and see what you got for your favorite Jurassic dinosaur. APATUS. Awesome. Thanks. I'm glad my stop motions. There should be another one coming soon. Kind of planning on getting a bunch of inspiration from the upcoming film from Godzilla X Kong. So that should be interesting. Kind of want to see what they're going to do and then kind of maybe bounce around a couple ideas with my characters. The Mexican Lizard. That's a cool name. Yo, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. I'm pretty tired during this stream today because, part 1 is all finished of Shimo, I do say. Usually I'm really exhausted after all that editing and talking to myself in a soundproof room for a very long time. Okay, there it is. It popped up right away. Your spelling was right, so unfortunately it's not going to give us a actual thing on the Wi-Fi speaker. Oh, is that a Patasaurus? I think it's a Potosaurus. I'll just type in pronunciation, see if it gives it me. Yeah, it is. Okay, geez, I should have known that one off by heart. Apatosaurus, that is a good pick. Very, very popular. I'm pretty sure that's the one with the whip tail. Right? I'm going to Google that quick, too. Unfortunately, I do not have access to my YouTube script here, so you're going to have to apologize me. I do apologize, I'm not a walking thesaurus, so. It is? Okay, yeah, it is. Yeah, that pops up right away with the search. So, cool. Very good choice, very good choice. There's a lot of scenarios with Allosaurus and that dinosaur too. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the broken jaw Allosaurus. That is probably one of my favorite dinosaur documentaries of all time, in all honesty. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out after the stream because he is a very cool character and probably one of the very first dinosaurs I actually made about 2 years ago now. I should probably try to make him again because unfortunately there was a lot of experimentations on that doll and he hasn't really stood the test of time very well. He's not on the stage anymore, unfortunately, so. You see a dinosaur head at the bottom. Yeah, I switched camera angles today because, you know, I'm kind of outgrowing my studio at this point. I got so many characters and dolls and stuff, so hopefully this suffices. I can rotate it at any point in time if you guys have questions about characters and want to see a better glimpse of what I'm doing. So I just figured it's a lot easier to kind of get an actual one-on-one reaction because I personally quite like streaming with you guys and answering a lot of your questions one-on-one and bouncing around ideas and other suggestions. So yeah, I don't want to mention it, but Team Doug is apparently a big popular one in the chat. So okay, you want a better angle? Is that what I'm assuming you're asking? Oh, the one from Primal. Yes, that is the Primal Zombie Dinosaur. I've had a few requests to do more, so yeah, the Zombie Dinosaur stop motion with my fun. Yeah, that's was by far the most popular. that made me pretty happy to say the very least. So I think we'll be expecting a lot more of that type of content definitely in the near future. Kind of thinking about possibly just doing a whole plot twist. This is kind of obviously maybe some early information for you guys in the stream, so let me know if you actually want to see this or not. But I'm kind of thinking basically making a army of zombie dinosaurs and then having the Team Godzilla and various other monsterverse or monsters fight against them. So let me know if you want to see that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Definitely, yeah, an interesting concept. I don't think anyone's really done that yet, so yeah. Just stop motion was here. Oh, you'll get there. Don't worry. Like it takes a lot of time and practice to get good at stop motion. I've said this a lot, so I won't digress too much on it. But I've dating myself on this, but I've been doing this stuff for like probably 25 years longer at this point, easy. So I have a lot of experience. Some of my early cartoons, if you want a confident booster, are really bad. So yeah, you can go check those out. I use old frame rates at 3 and 30. What I do now is 2 and 24. It does take a lot longer, but the result is a lot smoother. So that's definitely what I would recommend. And it's what most professional studios use, as well as a lot of like CG animations use 2 and 24. Okay, that would be cool. So zombie dinosaurs versus Godzillas. Yeah, okay. Probably integrate that with the whole whatchamacallit, Godzilla takeover, where Gojira's kind of having a rampage through the entire city. So, but I digress. Try to get a little bit of Thagomizer work here done, and I'll adjust the camera angle slightly here for you guys, so you can get a slightly better view of what I'm going to be working on. Shimo. Yeah, I might have to get some more lighting for this. That's a little better for you guys. Hopefully it's not too blinding, but at least you're not being blocked by absolutely everything. That way you can get a good view of what's going on in the chat too. That would be cool. I use 10. I've been... I use 10. I haven't been practicing the 24s. Yeah, do some test animations. That's obviously what I would really recommend for getting adjusted to a new frame rate. Don't do anything too extravagant. Just kind of play around with doing simple motions, making characters walk or do things that you would normally have them do, and just kind of pick and play. And then if you ever want to post those things, you can always just label it as test animation. So if you do really butcher something, you can't be judged on it. That's kind of like a secret little hack that I've done for my animations, at least at the beginning. Shimo, yes, it is Shimo. Just a skeleton so far, obviously. We're still quite... She's so big. I need a bigger studio, Jaws reference, but yeah. Got the skull going on, so basically we're on part 2 of this project, for lack of a better term. Where basically that is going to involve just kind of finishing off the last couple details, making some Thagomizers, got a couple teeth I want to make, painting everything, so that's going to be a big task, and then giving it its first layer of plasticine clay. That should conclude basically what part 2s usually are on my how-to tutorials for making these characters. With Godzilla, high frame rate. Okay, cool. I'll have to, what do I call it? Keep a close eye on your channel there. Let me know if you post anything too soon so I can check it out. GTP. Got to go. Okay, well, see you next time, Mr. Keep On Gaming. Hopefully you can tune in sometime soon. What is your favorite monster in the Monsterverse? That is a good question. I think, I kind of hate to say it, but probably a failsafe Godzilla. Godzilla's pretty cool. Although I'm definitely looking forward to learning more about Shimo, because Shimo is really cool. And so we'll see what happens there. I'm definitely more Team Kong than I am Team Zilla, I must admit. So Kingzilla, thanks for tuning in. That's okay. Better late than never, right? Glad you can make it. We're working on Thagomizers and talking about our favorite Jurassic dinosaurs is kind of the topic, but obviously I'm open for other questions, so feel free to fire away. Blazeman, thanks for joining in. No, we haven't missed too much. Basically, help sum things up to catch you up. We're talking about our favorite Jurassic dinosaurs, essentially, is kind of the topic for today. Because, well, I'm making a pair of Thagomizers on the end of Shimo's tail here. So I'll get into that right away, obviously. And, yeah, so we'll start off with everyone's favorite Jurassic dinosaur and do a little bit of, well, homework from there. Because mine is Allosaurus, and probably followed close second is Stegosaurus with the tail spikes. Earlier, we did discuss essentially what the origin of the Thagomizer was. I could probably give a brief description if anyone's curious. Hey, Claymationzilla, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the late reply. Just kind of ranting on about dinosaurs. It's one of my favorite topics, obviously. Thanks, Kingzilla. Oh, you switched accounts? Okay, cool. Well, thanks for tuning back in. Monster animation? Yeah, okay, it seems like it's a more appropriate title for this type of streaming in particular. All your claymation projects are so cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Annie and sorry if I butcher your name. I'm really tired today. I just finished editing part 1. Not running on a lot of sleep. Annie Gule. God, I butchered that. Anlie Gule. But yes, thank you. I really appreciate that compliment. It's nice words like that have really definitely inspired me to, well, work as hard as I have. I think this is like the third post on YouTube today. I did a short, a regular video, and now I'm live streaming, so try to ignore me, algorithm. I dare you. Okay. I will get right back to you guys in the chat here. So we're going to make a pair of Thagomizers quick. So I'll give you a quick demonstration on spikes. I'll do just a little bit of footage here so that way I can start working on part 2 just slightly while streaming. So, yeah, bear with me, guys. Remember, your favorite Jurassic dinosaur. Topic today is Thagomizers. Wowzilla 2000, thanks for joining us. Glad to see you're back. We're making some spikes today, I do say. Just gotta get a little bit of filling out of the way. So, lighting, adjustments, all that fun stuff. Take 2. Luckily I can make spikes one-handed, so... And make the technique for one-handed spikes pretty simple. Kind of got to smooth this one out a little bit just so you guys get a good demonstration. Just kind of a pinch and roll technique to keep it nice and smooth. Should realistically only need one hand, but if you need to, go for it. I've been doing this stuff a long time, so I usually kind of like to do that for a lot of the scenes on some of my tutorials. I'm like, ooh, look, one hand. Actually, this lamp can probably help you guys out at the given time. I need a bigger studio, I do apologize, but at least we're not holding the device anymore in my hand. Excuse me. I guess you get free publicity commercial. Shoot. Okay. See what you guys have to say in the chat here. Mosasaurus. That isn't a dinosaur, unfortunately. Very cool aquatic reptile. Definitely one of my favorite river. I don't even know how to put it, but yeah, it's a monster. Let's be all honest. Anyone who knows anything about the Mosasaurus knows that thing is absolutely terrifying. I definitely want to make one of those at some point. They have been requested a couple times. I'll admit, I'm not too sure how I would pull that off in stop motion, making a swimming. Yeah. While I answer questions, I'll just rotate the camera here so it's a little less awkward. That way I don't feel like I'm talking to a wall. But I definitely want to make one of those, and only scared about animations on that aspect because water and stop motion's obviously really hard to work on, so I'd probably have to do essentially a green screen would be the idea, and just kind of have the character laid down with the camera facing upright, if that makes any sense. So basically, you are viewing the character from this angle, but while you're watching it, it's going to look like it's, you know, normal view. I've done that a couple times in some of my old car animations. It's called forced perspective, and it's actually a really handy trick to get good at for stop motion too. My favorite project is definitely Godzilla Evolved. Cool. That's probably one of my favorites thus far too. I really dig the pink, to be honest. -1 though, still probably I think one of my favorite kaijus at this particular moment. I just love the way Japan did that. It's great design, and might not be the biggest, but yeah, great film. Did a good job on representing the old original kaiju, that's for sure. Yes, back. Already did read that. Scanning through the chat here, guys. Bear with me. My favorite dinosaur. Oh, yeah. We had the discussion about Mosasaurus. I love to nerd out about that creature, so it's a common mistake. Don't feel bad about that one at all. So there's I think it's National Geographic has a couple interesting documentaries on YouTube about it. Yeah, I don't know how to really provide links for anything like that, but if you type in Mosasaurus skull, you'll get an interesting steel contraption of this monster. It's got like 2 jaws inside it. It's definitely an interesting watch. I've binged that so many times. Oh, a favorite aquatic animal. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I would definitely, yeah, my favorite prehistoric aquatic animal is definitely Mosasaurus. Sorry, I'm behind. Godzilla 2001 is the moment. 2002. Oh, okay, so the MonsterVerse version, like the original. I definitely think that's what a vast majority of people requesting Legendary Godzilla meant when I first made it, but Godzilla X Kong just so happened to be, you know, trending and had a bunch of trailers, and it was like, oh, that's really cool. I guess this kind of fills in that request, but we'll definitely be making the original Godzilla at some point, I guess, yeah. Team Godzilla. Please rest. Yeah. I'll get some rest tonight. I know if I apologize if I look really tired. It's kind of unfortunately my new normal since being on YouTube, but all in the name of creation, the show must go on. Caffeine's my new best friend. I've had a few espresso shots today. I'll just put it that way. Caffeine. That was probably weird. I'm a big Beavis and Butthead fan, so yeah. I think I'm pretty much caught up on the chat, so... Oh, we got Giganotosaurus. Yeah, I think that is a Jurassic one, or is it a very early Cretaceous? I can't exactly remember. Let me know. I need to do some homework on that one, because Giganotosaurus is one among the higher requested dinosaurs thus far. Cheetah Island, hey, thanks for joining us. Glad to see you're back. Yeah, I can tell you quite enjoy the live streams. I honestly quite enjoy them a lot too. It's a lot of fun being able to actually interact with my audience a lot more at this point. Kind of put it off for a long time. I was really nervous. Yeah, I don't think there was anything to be really worried about. Shin is just leaving watching. Nice. I miss my bed. I don't want to talk about my bed right now. If that might be a good idea. End up falling asleep live. Today on Moose Motion Live. It'd be kind of amusing, but I don't think that would go over. Yeah, not any publicity is good publicity in my opinion. Shin Godzilla was my first Godzilla movie I saw. Oh, okay, that's honestly one of my favorites too. Again, because Japanese just seem to do an extremely good job at basically, yeah, making that monster. I have a very interesting film theory, which I've talked about, and I don't want to spoil any more than I already have on my live streams. But when I start making Shin, because he is probably the second highest requested monster at this given moment for Team Godzilla. That was really slow. But yeah, he will be coming soon. At that point, I have a couple interesting theories about Mr. Shin N-1. So, gonna stick the spike on the end of the tail here. So, gonna make a quick camera adjustment so you guys can see what's going on with Shimo. Whilst doing a little bit of filming, then I will check up on the chat and see if I get time for any sort of Stegosaurus discussions. There was some at the very beginning, so if any of you are curious and want to know what sort of the topic is for the day, be sure to check out that part. Kind of go over the history of what the word Thagomizer came from, which is actually pretty interesting. So Shimo has like a fine spike at the end of her tail. At least there's been a couple different illustrations on that. For the most part, it seems like it's basically... Shoot. Sorry, guys. Kind of in the shape of a trident. Trying to focus at the same time here. Cool. And let's get back to the chat. Okay, that was awkward. Can you tell where my mic boom is? So yeah, if I sound different, using the fancy mic today. Because I now actually have like an appropriate tripod for the tablet, which seems to be slowly dropping it. Maybe because I'm probably moving it around a little bit. So, sorry. Not cheap, I don't want it to fall. It's not in its case, that thing almost never leaves it, so... Can't put it in the case and have it on the tripod at the same time, apparently, with this setup. It's really hard to find tripod adapters for tablets too, I must admit. That was weird. Didn't expect that, but a lot of people use their cell phones nowadays. The first Godzilla movie I saw was 1998 Zilla. Oh, cool. We got a Zilla fan. I honestly really like that interpretation of Godzilla. It was one of my earlier how can I put this? It was probably my first theatrical release of Godzilla that I got to see. I remember watching a lot of the very early Suitmation stuff from back in the day. So when I was a kid, I remember watching a lot of I can't remember exactly what the era would be. I think it was more the 70s and 60s. It was in color, so not that old. But a lot of Godzilla versus Gigan and King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah is probably one of my favorite nemesises. You know what I mean. But we'll see how Shimo kind of fares in this next film. Because honestly, yeah, I would really like to know more, but I just feel like I don't know enough about the kaiju to kind of make a determination on that quite yet. I know some of you, it's your favorite, so that's, yeah, pretty cool. But again, I guess with Doug, it only took 4 seconds, so Doug is really cool. Yeah, I kind of forgot about Doug, to be honest, last time, so. My first Godzilla was Godzilla versus Destroyer. That's actually a really good one, but a sad one to start off with. Oh. Which one do you like better? Monsterverse or the Ooh. Monsterverse or the Cretaceous period? Which do I like better? I don't know if I fully understand that one question there, but I'd say equally are both pretty cool. I like dinosaurs in general, just anything about to do with them. Yeah. I could go on forever about dinosaurs, so I'll put it this way. But the Cretaceous period is probably my favorite. There is a lot of, in the Jurassic as well as the Triassic period that don't really get enough notoriety as far as I'm concerned. Cryolophosaurus is a good example. I remember making one of those. That one is a carnivore from Antarctica, so really interesting. It's known as the Elvis dinosaur. It has like a weird crest on top of its head. So that's actually probably another one of my favorite Jurassic dinosaurs that I probably should have labeled at the beginning, Cryolophosaurus. But it's one of those lesser known dinosaurs, unfortunately. So I think there's only been like 3 or 4 dinosaurs in total found in Alaska. Like, it's terrible conditions. But yeah, you get it. I'm a dinosaur nerd. I'm sorry. I'll try to get to you guys here. Godzilla, Destroyer. First time watching live stream. Okay, awesome. Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Mr. Godzilla 950. I got hooked on the very first live stream, and it was like, cool, I get, okay, is the chat gonna actually stay here? Doug. Oh, God. Oh, no. Team Doug. God. I love Doug. Oh, I don't know, Doug's gonna take over again. But yeah, I get it. Doug is high request. I think he's kind of a brown color. If you guys can kind of confirm that for me, because some people are really picky on the shades, I've noticed. Not that that's a huge deal, but if he is, I could probably make Doug pretty quick. I have a decent amount of brown plasticine kicking around in the, whatchamacallit, studio. Oh, God. I have a huge book about dinosaurs, tell you... Oh, that is really cool. Where all the dig sites and stuff. Actually, here's something to look forward to. During my vacation time this summer, obviously, I recently went to the Royal Tyrrell Museum. I'm going back. I love that place. It's really cool. So there'll probably be either a small museum tutorial or tour, not tutorial, used for that style of video, obviously. But going back to Alberta, probably maybe doing a little bit of filming in the museum there, but obviously that kind of old news, already done that. They do live dinosaur digs there, so hopefully I get the opportunity to do a little bit of filming there and possibly even maybe like live stream that. Not sure whether I'd either do an actual video or live, maybe a combination of both. We'll see. But yeah, that's something to look forward to in the future. I'm hoping to get basically footage of a live dinosaur dig. I tried doing some volunteer work for it because that'd be really cool too. They're kind of picky about that stuff apparently. Some places are not, so that's something to look into if your local museum will allow volunteers. That way you can get more involved with the dinosaur community. Jurassic Park 3. Wow, Godzilla 2000. That's a good choice. That's honestly one of my favorites because I'm a big Spinosaurus fan. I think the Jurassic World's not bad, but I definitely appreciate the original Jurassic Park a lot. There's a book, and I definitely recommend you guys go check out that. It was recommended in a previous stream too. It was one of the topics. I can learn about that forever. I've listened to the book probably 6 times. So yeah, book is good. Must give you probably a slight content warning on that though. It is a little graphic. It's definitely, yeah, probably what Jurassic Park would really be like. And I would honestly kind of like to do some of the animations from the book. Kind of, yeah. I don't know how popular this might be amongst my community, but I want to make a Jurassic Park rated R at some point. Basically just doing the entire accurate interpretations of what the book scenes play through as. So, Nedry, I'm sorry, you're in for a rough time if you get made here. Doug is gray. Ah, shoot, okay. Yeah, he's kind of like a gray-brown. Looked up a couple source images. I thought he was kind of a brown color, but I do have an okay stockpile of gray, but not that much, I do say. Yeah, I probably shouldn't accept that challenge. I don't want to rhyme through an entire live stream. That would be too difficult. I'd screw it up too much. I'm used to scripts. I don't know if anyone saw the bloopers in the last video, but yeah, sometimes it takes me a few tries. Doug's gray. Doug is some color. Okay, he's kind of more, yeah, black. I'll do some more source imaging. It's, yeah, those colors of kaijus is a weird topic. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't include him in the trailers, because everyone seems to love Doug. Love for Doug. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be a huge fan of that guy. I'm hoping he's in the new movie, because I would like to see more of him. He's allegedly apparently like an early stage of Godzilla too. So, kind of went over a lot of that theories in the last video I did. So, if you want to learn more, be sure to check out part 1 of Shimo after the stream. If you haven't already, I'm sure a vast majority of you already have. Recognize a lot of the regulars here. But so Mark has 2410. I probably butchered that. How are you? I'm doing okay. Very tired today. So if I'm messing up my reading, it's, yeah. Hashtag Doug. Goddamn. I'm assuming, Claymationzilla, that Doug is your favorite kaiju, or Titanus Doug. Team Doug. I'm so tired. Yeah, me too, Kingzilla. I don't know if I want to mention how many hours of sleep I'm running on. It's bad. Hashtag love for Doug. Oh god. Oh no. Yeah, okay, yeah. Doug is definitely the next kaiju. I can see that one's gonna pop off. I have a lot of ideas for animations on Doug too, because he's such a goofy looking character that I think that's gonna be... Because there's not a lot of lore behind Doug, so that's going to be kind of difficult on that aspect, but I think we'll probably be doing a lot of fart animations to give him some sort of ridiculous power, because it's Doug. I mean, yeah. I'm not sure if you guys are okay with that, but I know a vast majority of you kind of like that end of toilet humor. So, possibly Doug with fart powers, I think would be a good idea for future animations. Team Doug. I'm gonna scroll up here and see if I missed anything briefly, and then get back to maybe a little bit of Thagomizer work here, guys. I love graphic stuff. Okay, so I guess you guys would be kind of in for the rated R, whatchamacallit, rated R dino animation. Sounds great. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, that's the first time I've kind of mentioned it, so that's kind of interesting that you guys would find it very interesting. So if you guys haven't, check out Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, the book. It's about 13 hours long, but you can find full audiobook copy. It is great. Definitely recommend it. Got a bunch of hashtag love for Doug, Team Dougs. Doug is Godzilla's dog. Yeah, I've kind of gotten that too. I've seen a couple, I can't remember the creator's name, but there's a couple other goofy animations out there that did, kind of basically had him holding him like he was a little pet, and I think it would be kind of interesting to have him as a pet dog. I think I would probably base my dog a lot off my little pug Fufu. She's not here right now. She's just having a nap on the couch. Maybe I'll grab her in a bit if she's doing okay. But I think I would like to base Doug kind of off her. Yes, hi Holly. You want to say hi to everybody now too, again? Silly girl. But yeah. So, other than Team Doug, let's see if we can get I want to know the Cretaceous. Oh god. Okay, so you're curious about Kong's axe, I see. Kong is probably, yeah, another very high requested monster. Scar King is probably almost above him at this point. I haven't quite done tallies for today. But yeah, I definitely kind of curious about that myself. Honestly, don't know as much about Kong as I would say Godzilla. So eventually, once we start getting into, yeah, more Kong projects, I can hopefully answer your question a little bit better. If anyone in the chat knows, let Cheetah Island know. We all seem to be monster loving nerds and dinosaur geeks here, so. Godzilla wins. Gotcha, and transport. Alright. I think I'm kind of caught up. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. I apologize if I do. Really tired today, I do say. Now, we're going to make a couple Thagomizers, and then I'll get back to you guys. I can kind of see off in my peripheral vision. It doesn't work on the tablet very well. I don't know why. It works fine on my cell phones, but I remember one of my streams was extremely bad quality because my iPhone's microphone apparently isn't doing so well. So, damn. Anyway, going to make the second smallest pair of Thagomizers because of Jurassic dinosaur stuff, like legitimate Jurassic dinosaur stuff. Because fun fact, most of the dinosaurs you know and love from Jurassic Park are from the Cretaceous. Although I'm pretty sure a vast majority of you are pretty well educated in the science of, or the lack thereof, the science in Jurassic Park. I mean, I shouldn't be as harsh on it as I am, because that movie did change a lot for the way we view dinosaurs, but I think there's only been a handful of actual Jurassic dinosaurs in that entire franchise, Stegosaurus being one of them. And seeing how the topic is on Stegosauruses, Stegosauridae, I don't know what the genus is for that, actually. Should have looked that up. The plates on the Stegosaurus's back, that's the biggest one. The plates on the Stegosaurus's back are not really necessarily plates. They're also known as, oh no, I already forgot. Bear with me. If you guys know, I'll already answer. I'm slow today. Osteoderms, that's it, sorry. Yes, they were referred to as osteoderms. So basically the same thing like a keratin sheath for any other spike and things like that, so. Fun fact. Really slow fun fact. Oh. I'll admit, I kind of miss having the ring light over on that side to a degree because it did help with the lighting on the actual video, so I apologize that I'm kind of playing around with the lighting here, guys. Quality matters. I probably should get a new lamp, but this thing is like, I got 5 LEDs on it, so it's kind of... Oh no! Ow. That happened. Shoot. Apologize, guys. Apparently, this is not, oh god, the most trusty of tripods. Bad. Stay. Hey, at least things didn't break. So, back to Shimo. Kind of awkward, smooth transition. Magic. Okay. I will get back to you guys right away here. So I see you guys kind of going off a little bit. I apologize. Some technical difficulties. I guess I'll have to add a little bit of plasticine clay to that tripod just to give it a little bit more encouragement to not do that. Second time that's happened. Oh, that not taking a picture.
Good morning.
I think, yeah. I apologize. I didn't mean to drop you. My bad. Second time. I'm still here. Hey, Kingzilla. Thanks for sticking around. Because, yeah, we're having some technical difficulties, I guess. For lack of a better term. Thought I was more set. But apparently not. Just, yeah. Get too distracted with monsters and dinosaurs. And stop paying attention to my tablet, which was probably an interesting perspective for you guys. It's just slowly falling. Oops. Okay, what do we got to say? Would you win? Who would win, Goku or Godzilla? Ooh. I hope Godzilla, but I'm not huge into the Dragon Ball Z franchise. I've watched it a little bit, but not a whole lot, so... No, that seems to be a common correlation, though. A lot of Godzilla fans seem to be big into Dragon Ball Z, so maybe I'll make a couple of those. I've seen there's one guy on Instagram that does some incredible stop-motion animation with Dragon Ball Z figures. It's just... yeah. It feels like I have to step my game up vastly. One that really I can help kind of put this into perspective. Obviously, this is that guy's full-time job. I'm not at this point in time, so his character basically transformed and the shockwave reacted throughout his entire house. Starting in the kitchen, worked its way to the living room. And that was all in the background. So basically, if I was to do that, the shockwave would start here, and then you would see it probably kick off in a bookshelf on the very back. That's how far he went into detail. It was like, whoa. Really cool, really cool. Can't remember the guy's name. I should probably, yeah. I think I follow him, because it was too impressive not to. Goku, Godzilla. Godzilla wins. Okay, I see you guys having some discussions amongst yourself. That's cool. Especially... Godzilla. Bro. That's fine. You're kind of in between. I admit, I was like that for many years, but at this point, I just full-on accept my nerdom. I like being a nerd, so... My how can I word this politely where YouTube's not going to get upset with me? I'm a welder full time, so unfortunately sometimes my language isn't the best, so I do apologize. I try to be on my best behavior, but my crew chief at work, I remember him kind of looking at me one day when I gave him some interesting nerdy facts about a dinosaur, and he was just like, "You know a lot of really useless information, Evan." I'm like, yeah. Obviously that was not his choice of words, but you get the gist. And we got more Team Dougs, I see. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, Cheetahzilla. I will probably be live tomorrow, hopefully. I can get a decent amount of rest so I can read things a little bit faster and not be so exhausted. But if you're watching this, be sure to check out part 1 after the stream, because, yeah, a lot of work goes into this stuff, and plus you'll get to learn a lot more about, whatchamacallit, Shimo. We won't, yeah, shh, no. Bad Claymationzilla. You know too much. That guy is rude. I'm not sure who you're referring to there, Blazilla. Is there, okay, a couple deleted messages. Try to keep it civil, guys. We're all monster dinosaur nerds here, so sometimes, obviously, there's going to be some confrontations and some difference in opinions, but something we have to kind of accept. Okay, cool. Think I'm kind of caught up. Really tired today. Jeez. I think I only have a few more things to do on the Thagomizers, luckily. And my tablet's still in good running order. Should probably delete it falling out, but I probably won't. But yeah, hopefully it wasn't too bad. I do apologize if it's... Things happen. Let it just roll off. No point getting upset. So, we'll work on some spikes in the meantime. Now, I know basically Shimo's Thagomizers have an interesting pattern, which personally a little on the fence as to how effective they would actually be in combat, for lack of a better term, because your typical Thagomizer sticks out off to the side, so that way when the tail swings, it stabs into your opponent, because that's usually the idea of having that, I would assume. But, at any rate, hers are shaped like a trident, so they're very, very pointed forward, basically kind of like this weird U shape. So what I'm making these one piece, so that way I can just slide it onto the tail, and I won't have any wiggle room. I'm probably going to do that with Legendary Godzilla's spikes as well, because there's a little bit of tail damage there, and I don't think I would be able to reliably use those weapons with this given defect. So, learning as I go along, you could say. So, but I don't know how well they're going to be in combat. That's kind of something I'm looking forward to seeing in the movie. Unless she uses it like kind of like a spike. I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, that's his opinion. That's okay. Can't please everyone. Not even sure what he was referring to, so... Yeah. I'm back. Back again. But yeah, playing with Thagomizers. So bear with me, guys. Probably stay tablet. Probably do a slight adjustment. Just so you guys can kind of get a view of what I'm actually working on a little bit. So I'm going to basically smush this onto the end of the tail. Now, lighting adjustment. So the idea is making these one piece. I should be able to actually use these kind of a lot more violently, because the problem with Legendary is it's basically, without having to pull them out, they're just stuck in with a pair of like spikes, which works well for that, but they're kind of wiggling around a little bit too much, so obviously when it comes to going whack, good chance it's going to fall off. So I just want to make sure that that's not going to happen. So during our animation preparation video for the big dinosaur fight, monster fight that will be coming soon, I will probably, whatchamacallit, be doing a little bit of Thagomizer reinforcements. Now let me tie this into the tail. Well, at least I got the footage that I needed. Hopefully sounds okay. Notice it's tablet is being bumped by the volume button, so hopefully it's okay. I'll be more prepared next time, where I now know not to fully trust that tripod setup. Yeah, I definitely agree with your theory there, Blaze Man. Kind of like, I used to, fun fact, I used to be a sword fighter, for lack of a better term, or a fencer. No, I didn't build fences. Heard that one a million times. But Godzilla Boss, hello and thanks for tuning in, talking about my old athletic experiences. But yeah, I used to be a sword fighter or a fencer. So the best way I can put this is basically, it could be effective, but it would be very awkward for a tail weapon that traditionally isn't used like that. But the way it would be effective is essentially the same prowess as a good fencer would view it as, is he who has the slash mastered will always lose over the person who has the thrust mastered. So it may be a little confusing, but essentially what that means is, if you're the guy in the sword fight that's doing the big hacky slashy moves, moving around, you're really like exposing yourself. Like this entire section is now open. Now someone who is either a foilist or an epéist or an épée sword fighter, those are there's three different weapon classes in the thing that I used to do. So the foil and the épée are the pokey weapons. Essentially, you're going to get to your target much faster if you're not doing all those hacking and slashing movements. You're just going, oh, you left an open spot, bang. That's all you have to do basically at that point. So it's a very interesting strategy amongst that sport. So I think that would be kind of how Shimo is essentially using her tail, is going to be more like an actual fencer. Maybe I'll make a joke out of that in one of my animations, kind of a tail fight, sword fight. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, hopefully you're doing well, Godzilla Boss. I'll admit, I'm really tired, and the stream is going close to an hour actually at this point. Usually I try to keep it around that time frame. I'll probably go a little bit longer to get a little bit more work done with you guys, answer a couple more fan questions or other discussions. We've kind of leaked out a lot of future animation plans here, so I guess the live streams will be a good way to kind of leak information out of me that I have in store. Now, unfortunately, I don't have, a schedule set for this stuff, so it's just kind of whenever I have time for it, unfortunately. So when it will all happen, that's up for debate at this point in time, so just know I am thinking about it, and it will happen at some point. So, stop motion takes a very, very long time. I think a good average for a lot of the work I do, it's about 8 hours for 1 second of footage. If it gets more complicated than that, yeah. Sometimes it's double that ratio, I'll just put it that way. Sometimes it's 2 hours of work for about 1 second of footage. When -1 was blasting off the zombie dinosaur head, that ratio was 2 hours for 1 second. It was definitely worth it. It looked really cool, but I remember at the end I was like, oh god, no more. I have a bad habit of telling myself, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be easy. Oh, this is not easy. It's definitely something I'm looking forward to streaming to, is actually more stop motion animations, because, yeah. That way you guys kind of get to witness firsthand how slow this stuff moves. I usually only... A good average for a lot of the movements on my characters is maybe a couple millimeters at a time. Like, it's not much, especially for bigger characters like Godzilla, for example. You definitely don't want those to... Yeah, you don't want to be really big, janky movements with that, because it looks strange for a character of that size. There's a reason in most of the movies they move real slow. But I'm just going to play with this last little Thagomizer here. And... if you guys have any questions. What is your favorite animal? I know it's a weird question. No, it's not a weird question. I guess what type of animal are we talking? That's a good, that would be the one. If we're talking house pet, dogs for sure. Cats are a good second. I love my Mr. Mittens and Miss Kitty and Little Miss Minnie, but I've had dogs my entire life. Definitely team dog for that one. Wild animal though, I assume we're talking modern day. That's a good question though. I haven't really put a whole lot of thought of. Dinosaurs I'd be able to answer offhand right away. Okay, actually, big cats. Big cats I find really impressive. Crocodiles definitely are probably one of my favorites, but I'm just kind of terrified of them, so I respect it in that manner, I think is the main reason. Anacondas too, giant anacondas. Oh my god, I'm glad I don't live at a place that has those. Ugh. Beep, yeah, no, yeah. There's something that big that crushes things to death with swallowing it whole is terrifying, but again, mass respect. Or, again, okay, maybe I have a lot of favorite animals. Komodo dragon, again, cool, but also terrified of it. But I think as far as the most impressive one goes, I think, just gonna call it, I think it's a jaguar. Jaguars are the ones that basically drag, I have to Google that quick, make sure I'm not wrong before people are like, idiot, you gave me the wrong information. Sorry, I'm not a thesaurus. Shoot. I do not know how to use my iPhone. Shoot. Yeah. At least I gave you a bit of a list. Jaguar. Yep. But yeah, jaguars are probably my favorite big cat, and arguably one of my favorite wild animals, mainly because, it's kind of sad that I had to look it up again, forgive me, I'm really tired, but they drag things that are like their body size up into trees. They drag crocodiles out of the water. They're just kind of insane, really cool, and very mysterious and very terrifying, because you're probably never really going to know it's there up until it's too late, and if it knows you're there, yeah. Heard some cool stories about those. You don't see them buried? No, bad tablet. Okay. Almost had a mishap again. Got a couple more questions. I think I'm just going to hold this for the remainder so I don't have any major problems. apologize for the slight jankiness here, guys. It's like $50 and it doesn't even do the job very well. Well, I have a couple like music videos kind of planned. The only issue with anything that has got talking in it is always a huge handful to do because you're usually, in my case, I'm picky. I go through syllable, word by word, syllable by syllable. So it's a very big time consuming process, unfortunately, making anything kind of speak. Some characters are easier than others. But yeah, I have a Godzilla rap that I have actually written together, but I need to make a few more characters in order to have that happen. So something that'll happen soon. Yeah, I guess on plasticine clay, fun fact, not appropriate. You shouldn't have to do this, but works well for assisting in holding your phones in tripods, for example. You can see there's a little bit of plasticine on my cell phone there. I'll have to do that with the tablet there too, because apparently that wasn't holding very well. So, cool. I think you were pretty much here most of the time for the entire stream, Mr. Clay, or Kingzilla. On that note, I think I'm going to say goodnight, guys. I'm really tired, now holding the tablet in my hand again. So, that's enough from me. Till next time, take it easy. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment below what you think of the project, share with your friends, and perhaps consider subscribing if you're new. So, yeah, be sure to check out part 1 of Shimo. So, yeah, good night, guys. I'm tired, and that's an alarm going off telling me I've been here for about an hour now. So, yeah. Good night, guys. I will probably see you tomorrow and hopefully a lot more rested and not having to hold the tablet at the end of the stream. So, good night. Boop.